Hello, this is James Love from Rise Star Church, Evening the World Out in Love. The name of this one is the Advanced Secretary of the Presidential Program. If you read that, I kind of blew a couple people's minds on, NSA type stuff and such that people couldn't believe or not believe. It really doesn't matter to me. Some of the things I talk about as duplicating for the presidents. I have Rise Star Church has many jobs, and since half of that is being on a cross, according to somebody's perception of their problem and with their issue, uh, they, the the benefit of being able to have a walking person around that is the diplomat or um, the scapegoat or the one put in the position that represents a certain organization and such that people can throw the rocks at that have the issues or problems of their own piece. Any which way, um, what I'm talking about is a presidential program that should be almost one-on presidential program. I vaguely talk about how the luring of crimes is, how I talk about humor and luring, and in the red I put a transfer of positions made by a suppressive atmosphere around subjects and put all the things in place, and with the funnel effect of how it's been more to a business of suffering and extortion of the American taxpayer in some formats, not regulated. Uh, they, but how that works in how all the problems or problem people or problem works that can be done in a society against a person or organization uh, head, you could say. Um, Having what we call a web, like a spider's web of entrapment. It's easy to do here in Come Get Rise Star Church because um, you really against philosophies and everything. That's wonderful. Come war with it because we're entrapping all you people at war and such. Around candlesticks. Any which way goes with it's all stated in the red. You don't really understand, but I moved people's mind about a little aspect I call the advanced secretary, which is it's simply in a technical, just like I'm talking to a camera, is connected to a computer with a microphone and such. Um, Innovative of God making us in the image of a creator and little creations that are made. And one of those creations is what a mind skull weapon, where you talk into it in some format. I've never seen it. Because you're staying in the red, but talking to it in some format and it shoots radio waves into your head and your synapses, so you're the only one that can hear or see what is projected out in a person. Like I stated, this can heal a lot of mental illnesses. This can heal a lot of immature ways, getting into maturity ways, that sort of thing. But instead of healing, it's been more used to, of course, mankind thing uses a weapon um, to to manipulate controls people, or as using in the suffering business. I heard earlier president as they um, wanted to deter crimes before they were committed, so they just statistically, uh, well, that type of person with all those circumstances, they are uh, more apt to do this and that way at a certain time. So we'll just put all the stuff in there and put little pushes of maybe they'll think it's their own thought because they put it at low frequencies. But, of course, they would use it as communication devices also, which I talk about in the presidential program, which would be to NSA agents and things like that. Because you need a wire or a little thing in your ear that you can get caught for being a spy because there's nothing on the person as it accomplishes the job. So this is the Mind Skull weapon, talking into it, projecting it at somebody where only they can possibly go. Unless there's other equipment that can see the radio wave. Another one is it's kind of like a CAT scan device you sit in the hospital that goes by over you, and it regulates all the electrical impulses within your body. And what people don't realize, just like a fingerprint, how it's very original. Nobody else has that fingerprint. It's going to be the same way an individual and the electricity under a CAT scan will show a brain activity and function. And so if they follow someone long enough with this surveillance equipment to always be regulating that electrical impulse going, they get that signature like a fingerprint. When they ask you, give your fingerprint, they're regulating it or recording on some secret security of NSA or such files on all people within the United States at the moment, and extra secret ones outside of the United States, of how, and they could really, what would he would say, what would they, how was radioactivity with this information? Well, we just shoot it in there with the Mind Skull device, and then that's, especially if they talk about it, okay, that's the imprint. So they record a file on each individual, a perception of how you would interpret any words or things that you see, or how you would deal with those things that you see, by how you deal with them, or talk how you will deal with them, and how that functions recorded. So then once everything, a couple of years, every word, every thing you've seen, all the information stuff is recorded on a disk, they would be pretty accurate comparing to that file according to what somebody's thinking, and then that's what they talk about as a mind reading device type of thing, or they can read minds. Yeah, it's just real technical, and it's recorded brain function activity. When I think no, the synapses and electric roads in my brain go that way. When I say yes, it goes that way. So really easy compared to the file. Oh, it's going that way. He said no without saying that he thought it. We have that one recorded on it, type of thing. And so any which way I could be here as an agent, as I am working with the government in my business. And the no equipment on me, but somebody can shoot a Mind Skull information to me, and I can think back information to them, and from pre-recorded stuff of what I said, and it matching the file, they can determine what I thought. So someone can be standing in front of me getting information, me sending information, they don't even know that. Holy Spirit, of course, uses flesh this way, and the Holy Spirit would the spirits of the seven, the fleshly spirits of God, and how the progression does the same thing as religious aspects. You can compare it as such. But any which way, that's the Mind Skull and the advanced security system. So what I'm going to put in effect, those that believe or don't believe, or scary thought that somebody has the information. Just like I said, this day and age, cameras and surveillance is big. So it's not one thing I always promote. It's not that somebody has the information because they're going to have the information. I'd rather my government, the people, my place, my government have it. And in fact, Google's probably got it already. the app for our veiled game reserve veil for the Candlestick Justice Game Reserve sin offering, buying options as you getting involved in the governing of our communities and some manner of that sociology, management, gambling, and an app that will show downtown cities all across America of such, because we should have the experience. You're going to walk out of your house, you're going to be surveillance. I'd rather us have it instead of some rich lunatic type of thing. So, and the problem is you may not have in it, or you may have is that you don't have access to it. So, mature America, adults 12 and above, soon to be accessed, Rise Star Churches Act, Google and whoever else of the game reserve and the surveillances of our cities for the coupling and the fun stuff, game reserve. Any which way, that's advanced security. With that's not the advanced security aspect there, but back to the advanced security. The secretary system, how I put it in there with that explanation before there, is the advanced security system for presidential program, which is also for sale to government agencies, and sure it's really expensive at the moment. Since we're duplicating at Rise Star Church for the president and future presidents, but also the other diplomats and security aspects that have to walk out in public for your organization or place. But that Mind Skull as an advanced secretary is what I call it. Is plain simple. What does a secretary do? They take dictation. Well, got my stuff on file constantly. Even plus, I talk about it so people can get a regular surveillance, which call for all for that for freedom of free enterprise. It's kind of like the free enterprise agreement type thing. Free enterprise system, and the patent by Rise Star Church, and the dictating, and then they can send information to you. Well, but at the same time, it's an interpretation. It's an individual tester when they contemplate the presidential program. Of course, test their reaction what they would do and such, and so it's a perception and intention detector according to as they're recording those people and how what they're doing around Rise Star Church and such. Better for a candlestick or a well, in other words. So, any which way, part of this now, finally to the point, advanced secretary, such. Dividing it into three, we're going to make other, for the presidential program, 3 other positions in it. And it's really put different ways. It's really for that really skeptical, freaked out American when they were freaked out about, oh my gosh, they're running around with these devices and stuff, and they'll mess with my head, and they'll make me do stuff. And no, I don't want them doing different things to my kids to manipulate whatever they want to get out of them. You know what I mean, type of deal. And so, any which way, out of that, I put it into 3 different formats, along with the regular secretary stuff. This is heaven, or really good, and evil section, proclamation of it. And that one is exactly what I said and how it was used before. And really what its true concept, what they ever started to pass the bill in which security spheres of influence at the particular time for a particular good purpose which was to help with growth and getting from that immature stage to mature stage about being able to handle and deal with the issues of mankind and fleshly nature of man thing. So, and that's just the good and evil advocate. And this, what we're getting, like Rise Star promotes so much, we're getting pushing that veil down, not about control. We can teach, we're ready now. And down to the 12 mark around Rise Star age and such. And with that thing, um, it is how they used to before in determining the people in their community. And I'll get to the security aspect later here in a minute. How they help people deal with their issues or whatever they, by giving them that evil advocate part, by giving them a little narrow road aspect with the good part, and helping the pick and nature of a person progressing through the body, I would say, of people, Christ. Any which way, this is the good and evil advocate. And then the other one is the secretary part that I already went over, and this already in the rift. So there's really three altogether, but one was already written about and now talked about, and now this is the good and evil advocate of that. And then there is it was the advanced secretary, now there's the advanced security aspect. The advanced security aspect is mainly for those people. Of course, rapidly it's new, it's just like the electronics, it's going to start off rich and rich type thing. Check government agencies, but it's just another aspect of the presidential program, and it gives it kind of more to the people. But of course, it'll be expensive at first, but hey, who knows? We can get through it quicker, more talk about it and such. But really, how it was before, like I said, we want to move that the good and evil advocacy thing down to a 12-year-old bar. But there's some people that do not want, and they did in the past, according to different churches, on like I talked about the locusts and getting involved in the edification of the gospel, you could say, instilling values, morals, and traditions and such. I talk about the conditioning locusts, how they do their jobs to moral or political agenda according to different groups. Well, there's people that would choose that they didn't want their family or their congregation or people that were involved in the governing things. These ones are abstinent, and I'll say they're not more natural, even though they're running around with their regular controls of the governing stuff with the locust deal. But then these churches, although they participate in all theirs, whether they know or not, they come in are manipulated by the locust deal. Well, kind of the same aspect, but now it's moving into the presidential or the advanced secretary aspect of good and evil. Then using the Mind Skull and the CAT scan device that is handheld, they can use on people to where they may still record a family, but at one aspect, they can choose not to. Like, we don't want the good and evil advocate in our organization or our church or our family type thing. And we can instill those values and things. The whole thing I talked a long time ago anyway. Yeah, live and let live doesn't work. When they have a problem over there, and I can help somehow, try to help, and any which way, they're at war over there. I'll just stay out of it right here. Then pretty soon we've gotten to the point where there's this war all projected or real all around us anyway. That doesn't make peace when you're surrounded by war, even if you are at peace. So, anyway, I talked about how Israel is real people God's people in a nation that blesses America, uh, and security issues like 9/11 and things of that nature. We are blaming. There's not going to be pretty soon a terrorist that wants to be in America because we're going to be like, hey, couple it up. Hey, we came with all this together. Well, why don't you want to hang out? Oh, you're lighting intentions. You're trying to sneak off somewhere. Hey, we look everywhere, and we do, the whole concept of make holy philosophy and all, and not concentrating on the problem, replacing the things. But the other stuff, they just run for the border. Let's put it that way. You don't have good intentions for America. There's no terrorists here. Maybe that's a little game we play for kids. Edification of love, until we foe, their contributions, and all. So, any which way, you can choose whether or not that, and plus this also gets to a point that it's going to be real easy very soon because either it's probably going to start out business wise. You have to. Now you have to. They did it secretly, and it's not just for recording for our safety purposes and such. But I'm just saying, what can you do? But any which way, they're not going to do a little locust style type thing with the other person because they're not paying. Because now it's public and under contract with iStar Church, and another aspect that you can go down to your government agencies and order your. Oh, you got little kids, you're dealing with a problem. You want to shoot a couple tests and lessons on put a little physical locust deal in there, and make sure that they get to the good part over the evil part, as we use it for the tool that is really started and was justified for the first one, minus the dictator government. Any which way, then you can go see other Spectra, which is also another one for sale too, and that one will be the advanced security. Notice the difference: advanced security, advanced secretary. Advanced security is real simple. Well, we got this person running around, this is doing the good and evil advocate in society on people, or on the ones that didn't pay for it. They're doing it for free, but trying to manipulate it in some form or fashion, which is why some people were freaked out. Well, there's advanced security now, and that's where we think it's free to check because we think that it's there might be somebody messing with us with these devices. Oh, I call this one. Oh, we'll check on it. Oh, yeah, here's the little proof on it. And do you want to hire the services? Yes, I do. Okay. Then they start messing around. You didn't order it. You're messing with your kids with a little radio wave projector device. Well, we'll have 10 of them. When they shooting at your little one there. Oh, you want to shoot stuff without ordering. They didn't order it. Here's 10 of them. Shooting back at you. We're going to send some other people there. Security device that you don't have. Unwanted guests. Unordered stuff. Kind of really made it between the two. It made it. So, like I said, the three first. The secretary. The good and evil advocate for the education of youth and such. Catch up. And the security device. Really, this is the advanced security. It's really advanced security and advanced secretary are like one and the same. They kind of need to be, which is why we have always two parties and such. Democrats, counters. Really, here, let me help out with politics real quick. The problem isn't that you were one side or another. The problem is that if there was only one side, you dictated from it. And it somewhat is a moment, I think. But Yeah, need a regulating factor. That's a whole concept, but the same thing works with this. Uh, so in other words, we're timing Simone. Basically, here I am, part of an organization. Well, I want to order both. The payment for all three. You're my advanced secretary, but also for my kids and some of the people in my life test on it or help them progress to the mature point, trusting point with the good and evil advocate, part of the projection mind skull. And well, just in case one runs around, they're trying to manipulate, not in a righteous format. I hope you're doing it righteously. Well, actually, that's why it's self through the government agencies of Right Star Churches thing. The advanced security. So yeah, you want to project that thing that you didn't get permission to? Sick on them, boys. Get 10 of this thing. We're going to mirror it real quick for you. So that is the further definition and patent of Rise Star Church and for selling your government agencies and such for your stuff. Hopefully we'll get it down to this more. You know how it goes. Oh, I like it. It's famous. They got it. Oh, I like it. Everybody has it. Oh, it's very cheap. That's what the public. Oh, look, everybody has it. Just part of that. Any which way. That's the advanced secretary, good, evil advocate, and the advanced security regarding the mind skull, that portable CAT scan device of the presidential program, according to Rise Star Church, governing agencies. Might need to talk about more money or reasons why, I guess. And it's for rent. God bless.